Yo, welcome in. Yo, welcome in. 100 plus. What the fuck? Not feeling well, huh? Nah, bro. I'm not feeling it. Welcome to the Diddy party. +100 is crazy.
About the pathogen spreading through Mother Base.
Guys, I'm afraid it's been 9 years.
We've got on the outbreak. What's your opinion?
Textbook symptoms of vocal cord parasite infestation. And judging from this casualty list, it is the Kikongo strain, meaning a breed of parasite that triggers symptoms upon detecting
Guys, my uncle.
pronunciation specific to Kikongo.
So our Kikongo-speaking staff are at risk.
Quite so.
He's right. All the victims do speak Kikongo.
So they can survive if they just use another language.
There is no
Bro, that profile
guarantee
picture's crazy.
You're only dealing with the Kikongo strain. Other language strains may be present. You well know he was teaching them languages from all over the world.
The Devil's House. Nzoya Badia Bulu.
There is no way to know how many strains he has at his disposal.
So how do we keep them from becoming symptomatic? You mentioned using microbes.
Use this. A type of Wolbachia,
Look, can y'all hear me?
introduced to a sample of the parasite.
Wolbachia.
A parasitic bacteria that colonizes the parasites, turning male to female. And
What happened?
preventing copulation.
Explain,
Must
explain,
cultivate
explain.
more. What have you done with the infected bodies?
Cremated to stop the spread of infection. But we did keep a few for study.
Good. Take this sample, grind it to a pulp, and introduce it to the larvae now nesting in the dead. The Wolbachia will multiply rapidly within those larvae.
They're soldiers, not some petri dish.
Conventional cultivation
Ain't no party like a
will
Diddy
take
party.
too long. Extract the Wolbachia from those larvae and vaccinate
Oh,
your
in
men.
Discord?
Kikongo
Let me check in
speakers
1
first.
second.
This is the fastest, surest way. No one is to speak a word of Kikongo until the Wolbachia are safely inside them. I will instruct your medical staff in detail on site. You have the appropriate facilities.
Yes, but
Yeah, we work at Panda Express.
I made a pact with your Bete Holone on the honor of the Dene. I speak no lies.
keep an eye on him.
Will do. Follow me. I'll take you to the medical team.
Okay,
Now,
I had Jack in a
we must
Box
wait for the
a couple
Wolbachia
days
to
ago at like
multiply.
1 in the morning. It was
How is
so
a disease
fucking good.
transmitted? If it's carried by insects or rodents, then
There is no intermediate host.
so
The vocal cord parasites lay their eggs in the larynx of the host. Most hatch and migrate to
Ain't
the
no
lungs,
party like a Diddy party.
but some are transported to the mouth through ciliary movement, mixing in with saliva.
Saliva. Droplet transmission.
sneezing,
Working just in the
coughing,
morning's not bad.
any food or water containing infected saliva. It would spread fast.
Indeed. And when the larvae migrate to the lungs, symptoms
Wait,
can
bro walked
resemble
out?
the early stages of a cold.
Wait, why
making
bro
it
walk
easy
out?
to infect others.
Meaning a simple conversation would be enough to pass it on.
Alright, so what happens after the larvae
I don't have it
migrate
unlocked.
to the lungs?
It is as I said before.
And I can speedrun that
they
mission
mature
easy.
by feeding on alveolar tissue. It is only then that noticeable symptoms appear in the host.
They show real
By
love
that
when you're
point,
broke.
it's too late.
Someone feel
He's
love when you
infected
rich.
everyone else.
I done got rich in
It's
a
one hell of
bitch.
a weapon you've created.
That is what Blag Anna wanted. Something that would spread.
Yeah, that sounds like
easily.
ass.
In truth, he's not the reason. But we will discuss that
Caution, rain.
another
Bro just
time.
dipped?
The Wolbachia have multiplied. We're preparing to extract
What?
them and begin vaccinating. But is this really the only way? Sure, it'll prevent infection, but the cost?
You would rather remove their vocal cords?
No. Tactical communication's the linchpin of what we do.
What if we were to ban the use of Kakongo?
Insufficient.
It's a Howlin' Gropus.
First, there's no guarantee that only
That
the
fight is
Kakongo
next.
strain is
That's
here.
the next mission I got. I'm pretty
Second,
sure. No, I got
There is the matter of
OKB0
how the
and then
parasites
Silent
lay their eggs. Before they can copulate, they must be exposed to the pronunciation
That sounds like
of
ass.
specific language for a period of time, like a container filling with water. But the duration between when the container is full and when the copulation actually begins varies from case to case. In other words, even if the infected stop speaking as a countermeasure, it may already be too late. The only true solution is to prevent copulation through the Wolbachia, or by physically removing the affected tissue.
Do any antiparasitics work?
It sounds as though you have already tried.
Yeah, that sounds like a
We tried
nightmare.
every one there is, and nothing.
I have yet to find a medicine that can remove the parasites.
Burger Queen?
At best,
What
it
the fuck happened to
temporarily
Burger Queen?
covers their ears,
Why is that?
because the parasites are companions to us. To remove them inevitably harms the host.
Companions.
More than you think. And this is why
She left the Diddy
human
party early.
immune system cannot eliminate them.
True.
We've inoculated the staff with Wolbachia to keep them from becoming symptomatic.
That should also contain the infection.
How did this happen in the first place?
It has to have been a
Love
cipher
you,
spy
bro.
within our ranks.
Don't be love you
If this
rich.
is so, then why the Kakongo strain? If their intent was to wipe you out,
That'd be a W.
Skullface said the remaining English parasite was close to the boss. If this latest strain was his doing,
I haven't seen bro
he
in
wouldn't
like
have tipped his hand.
fucking a
it is
year.
possible someone brought eggs onto the base without knowing. Stuck to their shoes, clothing.
Well, that makes the most sense to me.
And where did the eggs come from?
You mentioned that your boss visited Nzoya Badir.
Shout out me.
Sure, but his gear's disinfected immediately upon return.
Then he was not the carrier.
And not just the boss. All staff dispatched to high-risk regions were quarantined on the flight back. When the symptoms first appeared, we checked and disinfected all equipment used up to that point. Any and all prisoners, soldiers, materials, and animals extracted during missions were also quarantined.
So, that just leaves.
I have seen children around here. Where are they
If I
from?
call out, you're not gonna snitch
All
on me,
over.
right?
Some were being held hostage at a mine. Then there were the troublemakers at Voila Yamasa.
Voila Yamasa.
Yeah?
Their clothes, their things. Did you burn them?
They're just kids. We couldn't. And besides, not one of them's shown symptoms.
The parasites don't infect prepubescent hosts. Their vocal cords are not fully developed.
Well, if infection doesn't occur in children,
It is possible they carried eggs on their clothes, and the infection spread from them.
Check the kids' stuff.
Yo, welcome in.
I doubt there is any trace left by now.
But if there is, some of those kids must be close to hitting puberty. How could we have missed this?
the name Voila Yamasa got quite a reaction from you. I'm guessing the Kikongo strain was released in that village.
Cypher used that region to experiment with vocal cord parasite transmission. The Kikongo strain.
I'm feeling burnt out, bro. I had a really bad last week. Every day was just like torture.
Were the proving grounds. They would infect one villager and record transmission speed. Dangerous work. If they failed to contain the infection, it would slip.
Nah, bro,
into the
walking out is
surrounding
crazy.
At which
Imagine
point
folding.
The world found out about the parasites, making them useless as a weapon. Incredible they
Bro should have locked in.
The test site was
Cup of coffee,
densely
cigarette?
populated too. A terrible place for such experiments. No doubt, they thought burning everything would wipe away all traces. The settlements were covered in oil anyway. Who would wonder if one day they caught fire? And so it did. They burned it all, living and dead.
Those remains.
But they miscalculated. Transmission speed was far faster than anticipated. It may have been the temperature, or hygiene standards, or perhaps the parasites reacted quickly to Kikongo. Whatever the reason, nearly all villages were swiftly infected, and the settlements reduced to...
About this OKB-0 Emmerich was talking about. Its location and features match the citadel in the mountains northeast of the
Like, a little bit
Soviet
of both. I felt like
Built during the
complete
time
shit
of Alexander the
earlier.
Great,
And,
it was left in ruins following
bro,
one of Genghis Khan's
tomorrow I
campaigns.
literally work
Its occupants changed time and again due to war, and it was expanded
entrees
on
in the
more than
morning, and then
one
I close sides and
occasion. Ultimately, it
dishes.
fell into the hands of the Soviet philosophers.
With
Soviet
Cody.
army
Cody's
was
on
using it
entrees
as the
tomorrow
headquarters
night.
of its Afghan invasion
So I
force.
already know it's gonna be a
But
fucking
it would
disaster.
seem that Skullface's connection with the philosophers gave him license to develop Sahelanthropus there. And that's what Emmerich was doing at the place.
The story bad is
before he got
crazy.
the axe. But
What do you mean?
OKB is a designation
Oh.
the Soviets use for weapon design bureaus. There's no way they'd have
My
one of
biggest
those
flex,
in
I don't get blocked if
Afghanistan.
someone says what you look like.
And in principle, the numbers that
This is the
follow
curly hair,
OKB
bruh.
are
It's the
always
perm.
integers above 1. There is no 0. Perhaps this was a secret facility of the Soviet and Chinese philosophers dating back prior to World War II. Though it's more likely Skullface just picked a fake name.
Saying
that
the
more or
story's
less fit
bad
the
in this
Soviets'
game is
pattern.
crazy.
It doesn't go there often, but he sure as hell won't miss this.
I can understand
They
saying
use
it's one of the
heliport on
weakest of
top
the
tower
series,
for his
which,
visits.
you know, it's
Start by
understandable,
heading for
but
the
just
heliport.
bad?
Then wait
No.
for your chance to make contact with Skullface.
It seems Sahelanthropus's armor is made from depleted uranium. That offers some serious protection. The U.S. military is planning on using it for its main battle tanks, too. Maybe that's where Emmerich got the technology.
Uranium. They're using nuclear fuel for armor now.
No. What they use for nuclear fuel is uranium-235, which is
MGS2
extracted
is
from
bad is the
natural
worst
uranium.
opinion I've ever
Depleted
heard.
uranium is a byproduct of that process. Sort of like the leftovers, I guess. the garbage. Uranium-235 makes up 0.72% of natural uranium, whereas depleted uranium contains only 0.2%.
What are the benefits of using it for armor?
It's a pretty short list. Uranium's a heavy metal, like lead, meaning it can hold a greater amount of kinetic energy. But it also boasts a hardness closer to tungsten. That makes it an ideal material to use for, say, armor-piercing ammunition penetrators. But it's not the best choice for armor. Its volume is less than that of ceramics, but for an equal weight, you could end up with
The
less
gameplay in
protection.
2 is really
So
good.
why use it then?
According to Emmerich, it came down
Yeah,
to being unable to source
I don't know
ceramics
what his deal
technology
is.
from a manufacturer. Plus, given that it's an upright walking vehicle,
I think he's
he
also
wanted to
like
reduce
burnt
the
out.
bulk
I
of
know
certain
he
areas.
works
Despite
a
all
construction
that,
job
depleted uranium still
also,
makes for some tough armor.
so I don't know.
And Emmerich says it's been proven in live fire tests.
Stuff just
It
happens.
stops most Soviet tank shells.
Some days, you know, you just can't come in.
Code Talker. What are the metallic archaea?
Yo, what's up, lobster?
Volcanic craters spewing sulfur. Water hot enough to boil your skin off. Ocean depths of 800 plus atmospheres.
Yeah, 4 is just a movie with
Wastelands
little
radioactive enough
hints of gameplay.
to kill you where you stand.
The gameplay that's there is good.
There are groups of organisms that survive despite
I like the stealth and the different array of weapons, the
because of
customization.
living in such
Drebin's
environments.
shop.
I've heard about them. Extremo something.
Extremophiles. By selecting certain species, then subculturing and repeatedly modifying them, I created a metallic offspring of pure archaea. They subsist on metals rather than organic matter.
And some of them even consume uranium?
Yes. Uranium enrichment archaea metabolize only uranium-235. As a result, they produce
See, the thing
weapons
is about
enriched uranium.
people calling out of work
Possible.
is if someone calls out, you shouldn't have to pick up all the pieces and, you know, get fucking ass blasted with more shit to do. It's just not fair. 'Cause stuff happens.
So it was archaea that brought down your chopper?
Corrosive archaea, yes. They oxidize
Yeah, this is the
metals,
best gameplay in the
feeding
series.
off the energy in the electrons they receive. What became of the wreckage?
We had the R&D team retrieve samples
Burger
for
Queen,
study and,
I don't know.
airtight
Snake, I think he still
plastic
lurks. And Taco's alive right now. I hit him with a
shall
lurk.
extract archaea from it in good time.
He's on that BO6 grind.
They should help you fight back against Blagana.
Any chance we could start now? It doesn't have to be a lot. I might just have another use for them.
If it's only a small amount you need.
That's fine. I'll get the R&D team to assist. Let's go.
South Africa was previously suspected of developing nuclear weapons. It already had a conspicuous presence at the UN because of apartheid and its armed expansionism. But when neighboring Angola and Mozambique became socialist countries in '74, South Africa felt hounded into a corner. So it accelerated its nuclear program to protect itself. 3 years later, the Soviets discovered a test facility, and 2 years after that, an American satellite observed a flash in the southern Indian Ocean. It said this was South Africa conducting a nuclear test with the help of a certain ally. Skullface used the situation in South Africa to get this ally to lend a hand. They both wanted nukes, so it was a mutually beneficial relationship. On the surface, anyway.
I figure South Africa started getting serious about nuclear weapons production in '75.
That's Metal Gear for you.
In '74, the government was still able to get by with bluffing that it had a nuclear arsenal. But the year after, word spread that an independent armed group in the Caribbean was crushed by Cypher for possessing a WMD. That's right, boss.
W
What
spoilers.
happened to you and your men was the reason South Africa decided to push ahead with nuclear development. A force independent of any country getting its hands on a nuke. That was a threat to the existence of countries everywhere. It wasn't just South Africa. Your presence pushed a lot of countries to get nukes. The world was scared of you. You were a threat to more than just the Cold War.
Commencing.
If nations are gears in a machine, You had the power to smash him loose and watch the whole world grind to a halt.
Please specify a project. Please select a development project has been added. Please specify a project. Please select a mission.
Thanks to Code Talker, we've managed to put a stop to any new vocal cord parasite infections. We couldn't save those already symptomatic, but everyone who survived has been released from the quarantine platform. Skullface will pay for this.
True.
Boss,
Average EW.
Emmerich confessed. Skullface's endgame is to activate the
Mission
bipedal
nukes.
walking
Let's
tank
let up to
Sahelanthropus
the 8
and deploy
blueprints
it
at
into
once
live
and 4 good
combat in
ones at once.
Afghanistan.
Remember that.
That's why he moved into the Soviet research facility they call OKB-0. If his plan comes to fruition, there'll be no stopping the ripple effect worldwide. Find a way to make contact with Skullface before
This is
that
just a lore
happens.
playthrough,
Then
by the
learn what you
way.
can from him and put a stop to his plan.
This is like my
We'll have
5th
our fun with
playthrough.
him later. This is it, boss. Diamond Dogs is strong enough now to face him head to head. It won't be like 9 years ago. Make your way to OKB-0.
Cause bro's King Tonka. It wouldn't be a Yeet song without the mention of a Tonka. Yup. Well, okay. So I'm gonna do that after I finish up a couple more missions, because to get the final quiet mission where she leaves, you have to build up all your bases and you have to get the buddy level up all the way. So I'll probably run up some FOBs and just hit some development bases. Do you do FOBs? Are you on PlayStation? I'm looking for some people to PvP with. On my other account, I got grade 11 everything, and my rank's still pretty high. It's like 600 and something.
Deploying.
Do you not need to do all the... I could have sworn you do the bases too, no? Oh, okay. I mixed that up with something else. Oh, you're on PC.
research facility.
There's something that
Henrik was talking
involves
about is
building one
north
of
of
the
the
mother
Soviet
base
base.
platforms. I
That's
don't
where
remember what
Skullface is
though.
keeping Sahelanthropus before
I
setting
thought it
up
was that
roots in
mission, but
Afghanistan. There's a good chance he's got nukes too. Boss, we need to figure out what Skullface is up to.
Dragon Ball Legends goes
If you
hard.
make contact with him, get him to talk. The ethnic cleansing parasites, Sahelanthropus. Find out what his plans are.
Average school O.
All we know is that Skullface's plans are on the verge of fruition. We need to stop him while we still can.
Yeah, I have like over like 1,200 wins, and I have the gold nameplates too. I have a bunch of FOB wins. I used to grind the fuck out of it like 2 years ago.
The Soviet soldiers in that area are all dead. Apparently XOF unleashed the Russian parasite strain. To isolate the facility, they first spread reports of a chemical weapon leak. The infection won't spread into the
Yeah, like I said,
surrounding
like 2 years ago,
region. Still, I think they just
before I got a job and
exterminated
shit, I used to
the
grind the
within
fuck out of
hours' time.
FOBs.
Skullface must be making his final play. Yeah.
Forza's fun.
Yeah. 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 Eli snuck into the cargo on board the chopper. His idea of an
So I really
escape
like this view
Who
over
can
here.
say? We'll think of how to deal with him later.
Snake, do you read me? I know more than anyone about OKB-0 and Sahelanthropus. Boss, I've made up my mind. I want to be of use to you,
Cap.
not him. Let me work to pay for what I've done. I'll prove it, that I've always been your ally.
Boss, I'll be focused on coordinating backup here in Mother Base. The chain of command is still in place. If you have orders, give them through Miller as usual. Skullface is in OKB-0. Start by making contact with him. The facility itself is under the control of XOF, Cypher's Strike Force. We have no hard data on their force strength, so your judgment in the field will be key. Boss, we're finally here. Find Skullface and take everything from him.
Analysis complete.
XOF has
Extraction
occupied the
Map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. Map
So
has
there's
been
actually a
updated.
way to the way that I do to S rank this mission is use walker gear, and you can basically just speed through every single gate. You equip like a shield in your body armor, or your not body armor, battle armor.
Please select dispatch requested. Analysis complete.
But yeah, this is honestly, it's a hard mission. Like
Buddy,
this is
departing
probably one of the hardest
area of
missions.
Operations.
CP, this is Delta 1. I have visual on an enemy sniper. Please advise.
Damn.
Map has been updated.
Why you gotta do him like that? Fuck.
Not good.
Bro.
Don't let your buddy die, Snake. I'm pulling them out of the...
Yeah, I might need to restart him. Low-key fucking up. Get a hit on him. Yeah, I might need to restart this mission.
Departing area of operations.
Hold up. Let's run this back. Yeah, it's definitely unfinished.
The Soviet soldiers in that area are all dead. Apparently XOF unleashed the Russian parasite strain. To isolate the facility, they first spread reports of a chemical weapon leak. The infection won't spread into the surrounding regions. Still, I think they just exterminate the men who worked with them all this time. Skullface must be making his final play.
Alright, man. Take it easy.
Eli snuck into the cargo on board the chopper. His idea of an escape attempt? Who can say? We'll think of how to deal with him later.
Snake, do you read me? I know more than anyone about OKB-0 and Sahelanthropus. Boss, I've made up my mind. I want to be of use to you.
Huey is so
not
full of shit.
him. Let me work to pay for what I've done. I'll prove it that I've always
Buddy,
been
depart analysis
has
complete.
occupied the facility.
Analysis complete.
Skullface must be close.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Buddy has arrived. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
sneak past enemies.
This is CP. Understood. Titan security is find the intruder. Out.
Good work. 2 more gates to go. Still all quiet at the silo. No sign of Skullface or his Goliath.
Surely they can't already have... No, never mind.
Oh no.
CP, this is Zulu 6. Signs of enemy activity.
I don't have the wormhole full yet.
This is CP. Understood.
I'm not going for the 100% or anything. I'm just doing it for the lore. I'm just doing a whole playthrough of the series. My traditional... Actually, I do it a couple times a year. Playthrough of the whole series. Yeah, there's a lot of retcons in the series. This one probably is the most. Actually, no, 4 might have the most.
Understood. Keep your eyes open.
4 basically sums up everything to just nanomachines.
Development complete.
No, I think Kojima's a genius.
Alright, you're through the second gate. Only 1 gate left. From here on in, you're in the enemy's headquarters.
Something's wrong. But it has to be here.
section arrived at Mother Base.
No fucking way. It saw me through the smoke. How? 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 How?
Snake, talk to me! Snake!
Guys, make it make sense. I'm not part of no Kojima cult. I just like his games and his creative mind. I really like Death Stranding.
Caution, sandstorm approaching.
XOF has occupied the facility.
Enemy
Skullface
presence
must be
detected.
close.
The map has been updated.
Stop coming after you. His ride has arrived.
Enemy presence
Don't let
detected.
Skullface get
The
away.
map has been
Stop him at the
updated.
heliport.
The map has
Boss,
been
can you see
updated.
the heliport? Skullface is right there. Make contact with him and make him talk. We have to stop him before his plan is set in motion. Sahelanthropus is somewhere inside there. First of all, make contact with Skullface. Don't kill him yet. We need him to talk first.
Y'all ready for the long ass fucking car drive and so basically this dude had this fucking speech prepared for the wrong ass person. And here I thought if MGS2 was so good, why give remake treatment to MGS3 first? Because it's the
You
first
too have known
in lore.
loss, and that loss torments you still. You hope hatred might someday replace the pain, but it never goes away. It makes a man hideous, inside and out. Wouldn't you agree? We both are demons. Our humanity won't return. You, me, we've no place to run, nowhere to hide. And that is why I'll show you my demon. Follow me, big boss.
Just go along with him for now. We're ready to fight if it comes to that. That's our leverage against him, our deterrent. He doesn't want a war on his hands.
Whatever the Navajo told you, it's just one possible solution derived by Cypher. My will is different. I've known you since your time at Langley. I've long been the other side of your coin. 1964, Soviet territory. Vox's first mission. Any mess you made, I was there to clean up. You completed your task. and admirably. The information you returned was far more than enough to fill our pockets. With it, our futures became, more or less, set in stone. And then the Major came to me with an idea. Washington doesn't know how to spend money, he said. I'd like to redirect it. His goal was an organization dedicated solely, covertly, to supporting America. Cypher. You know the rest. To him, it was mourning the loss of his friend. Or rather, an act of revenge on the world, but America most of all.
Is it not?
America is a country of liberty.
I didn't know
A
that.
meeting of immigrants. Instead of simply assimilating, its citizens
2 was the
live
first one I
alongside
ever played, and I fucking love that game.
Their roots are very
It's probably my
diverse.
personal favorite of the
America's
series.
never been made up of just one. But he tried to forge a single consciousness for it and from it. The idea that every citizen would use free will to unite behind their country. Unilateralism like that can't be entrusted to any one individual. So the Major sought a system that used information, words, to control the subconscious.
Fake games and fake companies. Moby Dick Studios. I like the parallels of this game and Moby Dick. Oh no, not me.
To unite America and the entire world. The Major thought this was his friend's will. But I think he never understood what she wanted. Before he ever walked or cried, even before he was born, his mother tongue was English. He doesn't know the pain of losing his own language. Not yet. He cannot understand her will. I do. I was born in a small village. I was still a child when we were raided by soldiers. Foreign soldiers. Torn from my elders, I was made to speak their language. With each new post, my masters changed, along with the words they made me speak.
Well, that's
Words
not the
are
reason.
peculiar. With each change, I changed.
I just like I said before, I like the gameplay.
Personality, how I saw right and wrong.
I like the
War
story,
And not
the
only
soundtrack.
visage.
I like the boss fights.
I was invaded by words, burrowing and breeding inside me. A philosopher once said, "It is no nation we inhabit, but a language." Make no mistake, our native tongue is our true fatherland. My fatherland, my truth was stolen from me. And so was my past. All that's left is the future. And mine is revenge. On those who bleach off the words of their fellow man. This is what I learned from the Major. And then it hit me. It was he who should feel my wrath. He and the code he chose as basis for control. Language codes, information codes, beamed all around us, genetic codes spanning history. By
I'll check
controlling
those
the
out.
codes, Cypher Zero intends to unify the world. Codes implanted into our heads, sucking our minds dry as it spreads from one host to the next. A parasite upon this earth, that is what Zero is. As one born into this world, he's afflicted. I hold him responsible for killing my freedom. Killing all traces of my past. Killing any promise of a future. We are all but dead men forced to walk upon this earth. A world reduced to zero. Cypher plans to use its codes to control the world. They think they can. And the mother tongue of all those codes is ink. The word became flesh. The final parasite. It knows English. An English strain of the vocal parasite. I will exterminate the English language. With this, I'll rid the world of infestation. All men will breathe free again, reclaim their past, present, and future. This is no ethnic cleanser. It is a liberator. To free the world from zero. Let the world be. Sans lingua franca, the world will be torn asunder. And then it shall be free. People will suffer, of course. A phantom pain. The world will need a new common tongue. A language of nukes. My metal ears shall be the thread by which all countries are bound together in equality. No words will be needed. Every man will be forced to recognize his neighbor. People will swallow their pain. They will link lost hands.
Okay.
The world will become one. This war is peace.
This is so awkward. True.
when the world witnesses Sahelanthropus, the hands of the doomsday clock will roll on, regardless of Zero. Sahelanthropus will take the first giant step into a brave new world. It is the bell with which a world trodden upon by words declares its independence. We are here. Remember the Alamo.
This is Queequeg on station to provide cover. Get us a line of fire. Roger that.
We're not the only demons in this world. Like you, vengeance is all he has. It's man's thirst for revenge that drives the times. Just as you live because of me, he lives because of you. Show him! Wait! Who is doing this? Such a lust for revenge? Who?
That actually is not a bad name. War of the Phantoms. I see. It's because I had to go back to checkpoint in because it took so long with the cutscenes.
Mission list. Updated. Please specify a project.
Emmerich uses externally powered legs of his own design. It's bionics technology, a product of the U.S. military's failed attempt to develop a powered exoskeleton. All the wearer has to do is apply a little force, and the actuators continue the movement in that direction. But his legs are unique. Instead of using a hydraulic mechanism, the actuators run off metallic archaea. That increases the actuator's reaction speed and also enables him to lock and release the joints at will. The legs are a nifty little gadget, but they have two clear weaknesses. First, they're dependent on external power, maybe because he built them knowing he couldn't leave his lab. There's no internal battery. That's why they won't work if they aren't plugged in. Second, and this is more than
Alright, I don't want to listen to this. Hold up, I want to listen to the briefing though.
Please select a mission.
Sahelanthropus is on the move. The instruments on the support chopper are all malfunctioning. And Eli's acting strangely for some reason. Something's not right. Boss, for now, just get away from that thing. Hurry!
That's true.
Deploying.
Skullface is a subpar villain in general. I really like his introduction in Ground Zeroes, but that's about it. He's just kind of mid. The Mad Hungarian.
Got a spike on the RWR. Strange PRF. What's wrong? Control lost. Can't maintain RPM. We're settling.
control. Ascending. Hey, Snake. There's something wrong with Eli.
Wait! Who is doing this? Such a lust for revenge?
Ooh. Like, why did they? Like, why they just told Zero they use ARs? Good question.
PRF anomaly. Quick is outbound. Departing the AO for now.
All units, move in!
I don't understand. Why is it Queequeg? I never understood that. What reference is that?
Cipher will rewrite the records, and I will vanish from human memory. But the thirst for revenge that I have planted will infest the system. No one can stop it now. Sahelanthropus will unleash that thirst onto the future. Major, I'm burning up!
Boss, get out of there!
Wait, you don't know who Queequeg? So, I know Queequeg is. He's in Moby Dick novel. I don't remember who it is though.
Skullface will have won. His plans will become reality. He won't even need to use nukes.
Oh, okay.
His mere existence would be enough to enslave humanity to the fear of nuclear Armageddon. It would tear the world apart.
See, like I said, I really like the parallels with Moby Dick in this game.
It's after you. You need to stop it, boss. Destroy Sahelanthropus. Destroy that thing. I'll rally Diamond Dogs and provide backup.
Oh, I didn't realize I was muted. I know who Captain Ahab is. Phone power's down. Alright. Well, I appreciate you tuning in, bro. Take it easy, man. Like I said, I play through all the games. And I make videos sometimes, just clips.
Supply drop
damn it.
Stop Sahelanthropus. Destroyed, I think. I'll rally Diamond Dogs and provide backup.
Snake, talk to me!
Goddamn, bro.
Snake! Snake!
Stop Sahelanthropus. Destroyed, I think. I'll rally Diamond Dogs and provide backup. Never cease to amaze, boss. it out.
Select a strike point. Strike. Please select a strike. Strike requested.
Let's see Skullface. There were 3. Where's the other?
Very close to you.
Finish me. Kill me.
Do it yourself. Mission complete, boss.
Kill me. Kill me.
I did it! Revenge!
development project has been added.
Anyone can give up his fight by laying down arms. But the feeling of holding a gun, that we'll never forget. Like our lost limbs, the sensation lingers.
Here she comes! Here she comes!
Rifles in missing hands. We stand tall on missing legs. We stride forward on the bones of our fallen. Then, and only then, are we alive. This pain is ours, and no one else's. The secret weapon we wield, out of sight. We will be stronger than ever. For our peace. Sahelanthropus will unleash that thirst unto the future. Those were his last words.
Kaz.
Pretentious to the end. Still. Doesn't feel like this is over. And I'll never be whole again.
Blind in the deepest night, reaching out, grasping for a fleeting memory. speak into me with your breath so still. It makes me believe in the Father's hands. Let me suffer now and never die. I'm Pride feeds their blackened hearts, and thirst must be quenched to fuel hypocrisy.
I won't scatter your sorrow to the heartless sea. I won't see you end as ashes. You're all diamonds.
This man acted as accomplice to the attack on Mother Base.
Why are you here? Revenge against the boss?
I'm not like you!
I think it is time you knew.
I'll go alone.
Boss, what are you...
We can't afford to lose anyone else.
What if she's a spy?
What if I'm a spy? Or you?
Kill her! What should we do, boss? Just give the order.
You were right. He is not one of us.
Boss.
Snake?
Attention! Diamond Dogs! Even with Skullface dead, our brothers are unavenged. And the phantom pain he brought us lives on. Cypher is still out there. We know they've planted spies, parasites among us. Watch the man to your left, to your right. Assume nothing. Report everything. It's the only way to protect ourselves. From here on out, you will be my eyes. The deadliest enemy's right here in our midst. And they will get no mercy.
Unit
Even
function
with
added.
Skullface dead, our pain is still right with us. We need more strength. We need more men. Diamond Dogs needs to be bigger. Missions have come in too. We still have a long road ahead of us.
Please landing zone confirmed.
Roger.
Squad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
Please select a mission.
This is P-Quad. On station at LZ. Gaining altitude.
Some will set shortly. Mission list updated.
You can now give the order to develop or dispose of nuclear weapons from your iDroid. With a nuclear deterrent, even if you're discovered while infiltrating a rival PF's FOB, most PFs won't dare retaliate. But you, of all people, know how dangerous it can be to have nuclear weapons. So will you add nukes to our arsenal as a deterrent? Or will you take them away from other PFs and dispose of them to help build a world that's free of nuclear weapons? I'll leave that decision up to you.
I just received word from the R&D team and the transport team out of Afghanistan. They finished installing Sahelanthropus on the base. It's ours now.
All right. Don't let any of the staff touch that thing. Especially Emmerich.
Of course. That guy's crush on Sahelanthropus is beyond a joke. Guess he really wants to see his tech stand on its own two legs this time.
That's not gonna happen.
I know it. So you've got no plans to make it operational again?
Damn right.
Boss, I want to hear it straight from you.
Hear what?
What the hell do you want with that thing? The drive is busted. It's not like it has a nuke on board. Even if the metallic archaea could turn it into a nuclear weapon, all it can do is self-destruct. Sahelanthropus just isn't a weapon anymore. It'll draw unwanted attention without even being a deterrent.
I know.
The weapons development strut sank 2 feet under that thing's weight. That's 1 year's drop in a single night. We've started on reinforcing the strut, but there's no guarantee it'll hold up if a storm hits.
I know that too.
Boss, why keep it?
It's a mark. Us Diamond Dogs, we don't have a country to call home. That means we have no past, nothing to prove that we lived. Every one of us threw it all away when we came here. Sahelanthropus is a symbol to show that the likes of us brought at least one crisis to its end.
A mark in history. So we can't just fade away.
It's of no practical use to us. But we still need it.
A symbol of what we've done. I'm glad I sounded you out on this. Snake, on behalf of all of us, I want to thank you.
I don't need gratitude. I need security. Keep Emmerich away from that thing.
Roger that.
You said that the nuke Skullface was trying to spread around the world were equipped with a failsafe. Something that could shut them down at will. His will.
Quite so. After all, he needed a guarantee that a buyer wouldn't simply turn the weapons back on him.
So how can they be stopped?
The criticality trigger, that is, the detonator, is a complete black box design. Any attempt to dismantle it causes it to melt in seconds, using the corroding archaea. The design ensures that no detonation is possible unless it disengages the lock.
So he had a way to disengage it remotely.
Precisely. The client simply presses a button. At that moment, the detonator begins transmission with a surveillance satellite. The satellite reports to him how the client is trying to use the nuke. If he does not object, the lock is disengaged.
But if it's a risk to him in any way...
The detonator melts down. The same is true if detonation does not occur within a preset time after the lock is disengaged. The nuke is rendered useless.
Who the hell would buy something with strings attached like that?
The client would never know until the moment they actually try to use it. Most likely, he would have explained the time delay as the detonators needing time to activate. And he only intended to sell to technologically primitive groups in the first place.
Let me guess. He'd claim it was defective and offer a replacement. Shadier than a used car salesman.
Skullface shakes your hand like a friend, using the other to control you like a puppet. This is how he works.
Code Talker. Haven't seen you eat a single thing since you got here. Let me guess. Photosynthesis?
Oh? What makes you say that?
Well, a long time ago, I knew someone with a similar ability.
Well, you are correct. Most of my body is covered with parasites. I supply them with water, and in return, I receive sugars they produce when exposed to light. It isn't just my skin either. The parasites also act as my eyes. They have replaced many of my internal organs as well. It is thanks to them that I live on after over a century.
How did you obtain them anyway? Through your research?
I would like to say as much, but there is more to it than that. Let me take you back 20 years. I had hit a dead end with my parasite research. Then I was approached by a foundation. They said they had a sample of an unusual strain of parasite.
Which foundation?
Apparently, they had links to ARPA. But that is all I learned. I was somewhat ignorant of the ways of the world. Just being able to study it was enough for me.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Go on.
Half in doubt, I visited them to discover the body of an old man. Well, to be precise, his partial remains. A collection of parts, you could say. The man had died in an explosion.
An old man, you say?
His flesh had not decomposed. In fact, the tissue's cells were still metabolizing. The parasite had infected, or should I say assimilated with, the tissues, and was keeping them alive. I became obsessed with studying the body parts, foregoing food and even sleep. Every day was filled with new discoveries. The parasite's biology, internal anatomy, life cycle. But there was only so much I could learn through observation. And so I made a decision. To truly know the parasites, I had to live with them.
So, you implanted them inside you from the dead man's flesh?
Correct. It was quite a gamble, whether or not they would adapt to me. But fortunately, it appears I was compatible with them. Or perhaps, through my many years of research, my immune system learned to tolerate them.
Were they that body's only parasite?
Yes. However, there was a separate specimen that supplied its host with adrenaline in response to pain, and yet another that could control insects at will through secreting heterogeneous pheromones. I wanted exposure to them, to take them into me, but my wishes were denied. Their records, though, provided clues that helped advance my research. Would you care to join me? A life spent never worrying about food is a most wonderful one.
I think I'll pass.
Skullface has finally burned out. The world is rid of his existence at last.
Was he still alive?
You could say that. But you could also say he'd been dead for decades.
What's that supposed to mean?
Biologically speaking, it's hard to say how much was his life.
Side effects from the treatment?
No. The primary effect. Keeping a dying host alive as long as possible. That is the whole point. But in the end, he grew too dependent on his children. As if he had any other way to keep on living. He first underwent parasite therapy before the Soviet Union became his home. His body was horribly burned. Fire washed across his thin young frame and stole his skin and his throat, even his lungs. Only through repeated therapies could the parasites keep him alive. Most of his life became something the parasites gave to him.
And then he lost the ability to die.
That is correct. The parasites live on past the host's death, still aiding cell composition. At that stage, there is no way to extract them from the host cells. There is no way of knowing when the last cell of Skullface's body would die. The only choice was to burn the whole thing. And his children, along with it. And I am one to talk. When my life is snuffed out, I expect you to treat my body the same way. And when I burn, I will truly be one with my children for the first time. You say there were 3 English vocal parasites.
According to Skullface, yeah.
Skullface had 2 of the English strain with him. You burned both of them.
There was an oil fire. I tossed him in.
So that just leaves 1. And you tell me Skullface said he used it.
He said it was very close to me.
Very close. One of your comrades, or someone ordered to kill you. Or he could have been speaking metaphorically.
Metaphorically?
Close to your spirit, close to your heart. Someone who either loves you or despises you.
The second one makes a long list.
Whichever it is, act with caution. Skullface implanted someone with the English language strain. Who it is irrelevant.
Why?
I tell you what Skullface really meant. Very close to you means you will be exposed. All the infected here have been given the Wolbachia. Even if the vocal cord parasites infect them now, they cannot reproduce. But if there's a different host among us, host to the English strain.
If that were the case, we'd see the symptoms.
What about the non-English speakers?
We have plenty of those, but the staff use English as a common language.
But if that someone has not spoken English yet, and begins to speak it now,
there'd be another outbreak.
The final mating pair of the English strain must be found immediately. Skullface is gone, but his threat still remains. On this base, do you see what the final mating pair is? With him dead, those parasites are the stain he wished to leave upon the world. His thirst for vengeance. In the
approaching.
Think.
Please.
Does
specify
anyone
project.
here bear a grudge against you? Who would target you
Please
specifically?
specify project.
The ethnic cleansers that Code Talker mentioned, they weren't
Please
Skullface's
specify
true
project.
goal. All we have is circumstantial evidence, but here's my theory. It was Cypher who started developing the vocal cord parasites as bioweapons, parasitic weapons, and Africa was the testing ground for them. As Code Talker said, their purpose is the ethnic cleansing of only those who speak a particular language. So they could do a weapon of mass destruction to eradicate specific groups, races, ethnicities, or colonies by the language they speak. Or a kind of absolute language control. Or maybe a tool for those arrogant fools to build some misguided utopia. I can see plenty of uses for them. However, in practical terms, they wouldn't be as dangerous as you think. Counteracting the parasites is easy, after all. Cut them out of your throat to save your life, or just don't talk. That also prevents the infection from spreading. So if the international community were to find out about them, they'd no longer be the threat they were conceived to be. And why activate Sahelanthropus in Afghanistan? This is how Skullface wanted things to play out. The Soviet Union secretly develops a new type of nuclear weapon and successfully deploys it in Afghanistan. Revealing the existence of Sahelanthropus results in a return to the glory days of the Cold War. The threat it poses reignites the nuclear arms race between the world's major powers. The demand for nuclear weapons increases around the globe. What if you then introduced a nuclear weapon anyone could get their hands on? Non-nuclear nations, militant groups of all shapes and sizes, they'd all jump at the chance. Sahelanthropus was a marketing tool to sell nukes all around the world. But I think it's safe to say that plan was stamped out before it got up and running. The world's intelligence agencies never did turn up anything conclusive on it. After all, Sahelanthropus vanished before word could spread. Everything that's happened is already a fading memory, never to join the pages of history. Except for Cypher. Cypher won't forget. They'll already be working on something, quietly, beneath the surface. They'll use the pieces of data scraped together from this incident to build their own bipedal weapon. It'll take them a long time to complete it, but for now, the greed sector have found their new life's work. We'll have to be ready too.
Please select a mission.
The agent that the CIA had working for them inside OKB-0 has gone missing. We've been given the job of finding and extracting him. The target learned of XOF's plans to use vocal cord parasites and had hidden himself with the CIA's Mujahideen allies. But following Skullface's death, the Soviets retook OKB-0 and all contact with the target was lost. He may have tried to go back to OKB-0, but even Langley isn't sure what's going on. After all, they've never even learned of Skullface's plan. That's probably what they want to get out of the man once he's extracted. But we can't allow Langley to learn of the existence of the vocal cord parasites. That's why I want you to bring the target out, boss. Once we have him, we can report him dead and keep him on base. All contact with Langley is being conducted through a cutout. Our reputation should remain intact. As for the reward, it's already in the hands of the cutout. All you have to do is get the job done, just like always.
Mission heading to Afghanistan. storm approaching.
Find and extract the missing CIA agent. The target was laying low with the friendly Mujahideen during the vocal cord parasites incident. The man's headed back to OKB-0 after the Soviets recaptured it. Check the target's VI on your iDroid. That's the target's predicted field of movement.
Be careful down there, boss.
What has been updated? Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Analysis. Weather will clear. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Я не хочу умирать!
The map has been updated. Guard post captured.
Кто-нибудь, помогите!
He's coming too. Roger that. You gotta extract him. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Объект обнаружен. Координаты 03-850-12-2750. Перешите транспорт. Прием.
We know where to find the target. Check
Enemy
your
presence
iDroid.
detected. The map has been updated. Analysis complete. Analysis. The map has been
That's the target.
updated. presence detected. The map has been updated.
Boss, what happened? Boss!
Boss, you need to extract the target, alive. He might be able to tell us about what went on at OKB-0.
You have arrived at your destination. Mission info has been updated. Map has been updated. Exfiltrated.
You can't let them follow you. Throw off the enemies on your tail first. All right, the coast is clear. Mission complete.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Mission complete. Great work. Boss, the target filled us in on what's been going on. He betrayed the Soviets, passing information to Langley, but got scared after learning XOF used the vocal cord parasites. Then came feelings of guilt that his leaks sent comrades to their deaths, and fear that America might deploy such a weapon itself. But in reality, XOF and Langley don't have a collaborative relationship, and Skullface was not working for America. Still, I can't blame the man for being afraid. After laying low with the Mujahideen, he tried to cut his ties with the US and return to the Soviet military. But along the way, someone came after him, and he was forced back into hiding. Could have been remnants of XOF looking to silence him. And you know the rest. He doesn't seem to know much about the parasites, but nevertheless, it'd be too dangerous to hand him over to Langley or the Soviets. We'll keep him here as originally planned. on back to base. Quarters. A pile of steel pipes gave way and crushed one of the kids. The boy named Ralph. They tell me he died instantly. I'm sorry, boss. It's my fault. I should have been keeping an eye on them. I'll let you know if we learn something.
Please, landing zone confirmed.
Roger.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ. Gaining altitude.
Spoken enough. Your men can take it from here. Will you permit me to rest? Have something to eat?
I thought you don't eat.
I can subsist without food. But there is more to the act of eating than nourishment. We receive nature's blessings and reaffirm our part in it. And in doing so, we express our gratitude.
Sorry, it's, hearing you say you don't need to eat and that you're part of nature in the same breath. Anyway, what can we get you? Not exactly a five-star restaurant, but the kitchen's used to serving a lot of different appetites.
Hamburgers.
Hamburgers?
Even we didn't have become Americanized. I eat them often back home.
And you just can't let them go. Well, as far as symbols of the American Empire go, hamburgers are pretty good. The victory of capitalism. Your people suffered so much at the hands of America, and you asked for hamburgers.
We have suffered more than you can know. But I do not see hamburgers as an accomplice. A single dish, providing a balanced helping of nature's blessings. Meat, grain, and vegetable. How could anyone hate such a magnificent thing?
Says the guy who can survive on photosynthesis. Balance has nothing to do with it. You just like a good burger.
That is also true.
Specify a project.
Be warned, though. I have very high standards.
Don't worry. I do too. All right then. One good old-fashioned all-American icon coming up.
I look forward to it.
Please select a mission.
Boss, information warfare is more than just intel gathering. It also means disrupting enemy communications. Your mission is to punch a hole in the comms network between the Soviet outposts. That'll cut off their means to call in reinforcements.
Mission
Technically,
accepted.
we were given this mission by a Western-backed Arab organization supporting the guerrillas. But it'll also give us a leg up in the future. Take a look at the location of the Eastern Communications Post on your iDroid. Head there and destroy its comms equipment. He who controls information controls operations. Just look at sight.
Boss, you need to disable the Soviets' reinforcement system by putting a hole in their base-to-base comms network. Head for the Eastern Communications Post and destroy its comms equipment. First, use the binoculars to locate the communications equipment at the facility. Emmerich's finished development on that battle gear of his. Get back to Mother Base.
Yo, thank you for the follow. Welcome in.
The battle gear is an armored weapon developed to take on hostile bipedal weapon systems. But unlike the Soviet-funded Walker gear, the battle gear still hasn't been properly field tested. I'd like to assign a combat unit to take it on dispatch missions so that we can evaluate its capabilities and reliability. Assuming you've got no objections, give the order to dispatch the unit from your iDroid. Boss, we need evidence to prove our suspicions about Emmerich. Head to the central base camp in Afghanistan and recover that AI pod. It's time we purge Diamond Dogs of that traitorous parasite once and for all.
Please select a landing zone. Please select a landing zone.
Roger.
Confirmed.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
Development project has been added.
Gaining altitude.
Boss, we need evidence to prove our suspicions about Emmerich. Head to the central base camp in Afghanistan and recover that AI pod. It's time we purge Diamond Dogs of that traitorous parasite once and for all.
This is yellow cake that Cypher was having the PF's transport. Before we met you, the boss recovered it from a truck crossing the savannah. Are there metallic archaea inside it?
Yes, the archaea metabolize uranium-235 to subsist. They must be stored inside yellow cake, or they cannot survive.
So those biological traces we took for impurities were actually the real cargo.
Of course, they are deactivated, so they do not trigger a sudden enrichment. They are like baker's yeast. Yet, they do gradually enrich the uranium as they feed. I imagine you detected weapons-grade traces.
Yeah, we did.
And the malachite that was loaded on the truck had traces of uranium in it too. So that's the flower, huh? Skullface was gonna sell do-it-yourself nuke kits. The uranium enriching archaea complete with a user's manual. And the ores with the uranium could be sourced by the client or provided by Cypher.
Hold on, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Give me a minute.
Caution, rain approaching.
Even the trace amounts buried in common ores can be enriched to weapons-grade uranium by the metallic archaea. Proving that must have been the most important factor of the trials. That, and the ability to successfully prevent detonation.
So if the amounts of uranium in the ores are low enough, they can get past any inspection. And you only need a tiny amount of the archaea to act as the yeast. No great challenge to smuggle that either. The first step towards saturating the world with nukes.
His plan. That was not my intention. My only goal in developing the metallic archaea was to save the Dene.
What made you...
The one that covers. The parasite that lives on the surface of the skull's bodies is what gives them their power. Similar to my children, who live in my skin. I modified the parasites I isolated from the body of that old man, differentiating them with various abilities. One that can blend perfectly into its surroundings by exposing the pigments in its cells at will. Another that, by harboring multiple species of metallic archaea, can oxidize and reduce metal. Isolating the one that covers and transplanting it into an artificial medium should provide the same abilities as the skulls, but they can only subsist within a human body. Once transplanted into the medium, they will eventually die. Another thing, the weakness of the one that covers is desiccation. Their surface moisture loss is greater than ours. The reason they give off mist is to alleviate this by releasing the salts inside them as microparticles. Water vapor condenses around them, appearing as mist. But this dries out the atmosphere until they cannot even produce mist.
Development complete.
And once their supply of water from the host runs out, the parasites are in danger. They, along with their host, enter a form of suspended animation. However, a similar effect occurs if they come into contact with a large amount of water. Rain, for instance. The one that covers will temporarily abandon other processes in his eagerness to absorb the water. Pitijolone. Make the weather your ally.
Hewitt's dug up some interesting facts about our skull-faced friend. 9 years ago, he was exiled to South Africa, stripped of political power. The upshot's that he ceased being a serious threat, in Cypher's eyes anyway. They eased up on surveillance, giving him an opening to establish his own military unit, one that answered to his will alone. Those men likely had no idea their orders were coming from Skullface. They probably didn't even know the organization was a part of Cypher at all. Anyway, it was in South Africa where he found renewed interest in parasites. And when he discovered the vocal cord parasites, he began to make his plan. Wipe the English language out of existence. Free the world, not by taking men's lives, but by taking their tongues. In his eyes, the greatest symbiotic parasite the world's ever known isn't microbial. It's linguistic. Words are what keeps civilization, our world, alive.
There was something Skullface said. America is made up of many peoples, but those peoples never mix. Quite so. One nation, home to hundreds of different ethnic groups, many of whom stick to their respective living areas, little colonies, not interacting with other groups, going out of their way to avoid one another, their land, organizations, relationships. Thus, the United States of America is no melting pot. It is
deploying. The map has been updated.
Be careful down there, boss.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected, and the map has been updated.
Get him!
Marker placed.
Attack! AI pod launch confirmed. We'll pick it up. I wonder what kind of secrets are buried in it. I'll let you know if we learn something. Got a report from the intel team. Remember how the man on fire was crushed by Sahelanthropus?
Extraction
Well, the Soviets
arrived
recovered
at
his body.
base.
Could he really be dead? Boss, head for Yaha Ovu's supply outpost and secure the man on fire's body. If Skullface was right, and a thirst for revenge can turn a man into a demon and keep the dead alive, then this man on fire who's been coming after us ever since you woke up, well, that just might be what's left of our old friend Volgan.
is she?
You mean quiet? In her cell, of course.
Why did you send her out with the boss on that mission?
She proved herself well enough, didn't she? The boss sure knows talent when he sees it.
That woman will never be one of us. She's targeting him.
Don't forget, we do owe her one.
What's that supposed to mean?
Remember what happened when she first got here? She shot down the aircraft Cypher sent after us. Not only that, she hit the cockpit. Who else could have done that? We're talking about a fighter jet traveling at Mach speed.
What's your point?
If she hadn't been there, the boss's chopper would be at the bottom of the ocean right now. Or it would have been followed right back to Mother Base. So let's say she does have some elaborate scheme in the works. If you want to catch her in the act, all we can do is sit back and wait.
Development project.
On the other hand, if she swears allegiance to the boss like our other Fulton recruits,
Please specify a
he couldn't
project.
ask for a better partner.
She's got you fooled.
I have eyes on her. If she tries anything, she'll regret it. We lose nothing either way.
Please select a mission. Please select a landing zone. Deploying. Development project has been added. Please select a mission. Unit dispatched. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Analysis complete. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Это КП, понял. Будьте максимально осторожны. Конец связи.
presence detected. The map has been updated. Development complete.
Portable toilet. If you're gonna hide inside, watch the enemy doesn't decide to use it. Same goes for hiding downed enemies in it.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
I barely recognize you, Colonel. Skullface used your thirst for revenge against Big Boss, did he?
updated the mission list. We've received some new job offers. The details are on your iDroid.
Development project has been added. Development project has been added. Please select a mission. Please landing zone confirmed.
Roger.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ. Gaining altitude.
Mission list updated.
You mentioned that the man on fire was crushed under Sahelanthropus in its hangar.
Yeah. He was caught under the wheels of its transport platform.
But his body wasn't found.
What?
We searched the area the moment we arrived, but there was no trace of him.
I wasn't hallucinating.
I know. I trust you on that. That means someone must have taken the body. But when I got there, everything was still as it was. Even Skullface hadn't been touched. I can't see a reason to sneak into a place like that and drag out the biggest, heaviest guy there.
What are you getting at?
The only option left is... he got up and walked away.
That platform ran him over.
Just ran him over.
You're saying that's not enough?
I don't want to believe it, but maybe not. He shrugs off bullets, even rocket strikes. There's no reason to think that would finish him. It seems ridiculous, but I'll start gathering eyewitness accounts just in case.
If you dig up anything concrete, I want to know.
You'll be the first, if I dig anything up. But I hope to hell I don't.
No kidding.
Volgan, the group colonel, was burned alive with a Shagohod during Operation Snake Eater 20 years ago. Despite suffering severe burns to his entire body, he still clung to life. After you left Seleniarsk, Volgan's body was taken to a research institute in the outskirts of Moscow, but modern medicine couldn't explain why he was still alive. Not that the colonel was any ordinary man to begin with. That constant electric current he had running through his body that he could unleash at will. To be honest, I was always uncomfortable around him. Thought I might get electrocuted just by standing nearby. The institute studying him was tasked with investigating and developing human paranormal abilities. The comatose Volgan was used to further the Soviet Union's research into such abilities. But not long ago, the facility burned to the ground. And Volgan's body was never found among the rubble, even though the fire started in the room where they were keeping him. This occurred at around the same time you woke up. If Skullface was right, and a thirst for revenge can turn a man into a demon and keep the dead alive, then this man on fire who's been coming after us ever since you woke up, well, that just might be what's left of our old friend Volgan. It's not over yet. Back in '64, in Seleniuarsk, you brought his plans for a utopia down in flames. That grudge is what's keeping him alive. The day the research facility holding Volgan burned down, a Soviet jumbo passenger jet happened to crash nearby, far away to the north of that hospital in Cyprus. On board the plane was a young boy who was being studied at the same facility. The plane fell to Earth from over 8,000 feet, but the boy's body was the only one not recovered. At almost exactly the same time as the crash, Volgan awoke in that facility. According to the Research Institute's documents, the gifts this boy demonstrated included psychokinesis and telepathy. To protect his mind from being inundated with other people's thoughts, he always wore a kind of gas mask. A rudimentary form of psychic insulation, apparently. We don't know where this boy is, but if Skullface is connected to him, we may cross paths with him yet. This boy is part of a new age, where nothing we understand about the world makes sense anymore. Don't let your guard down.
Please select a mission. Unit dispatched. Development project has been added. Please specify a project. Please specify a project. Please select a mission.
Boss, research materials have been stolen from Code Talker's mansion. The materials were packed into 2 containers and hidden in the jungle southwest of the mansion. You have to recover those containers. The pickup crew coming for those documents is none other than XOF. That's right. They're still active, even after Skullface's death. Now that he's no longer in charge, their original chain of command has been restored. Meaning if XOF gets those documents, Code Talker's research ends up in Cypher's hands. According to Code Talker, the research papers stored in that mansion account for over 50 years of study. The problem is the vocal cord parasites. If the papers documenting that research fall into Cypher's hands, they'll take another long, hard look at them. The ethnic cleansers we thought were history will become a reality. America, Zero, will have a weapon far more powerful than any nuke. Even worse, if this knowledge were to leak, the world, humanity, can't be entrusted with this kind of power. Recover the containers before the enemy extraction choppers arrive.
Please select a landing zone. Mission not accepted.
Hard water damage makes it hard to keep your home looking picture perfect. Culligan Softener.
I think our fan base can relate to the anxiousness and the nerves that we all feel as sports fans right now. Almost feels like even when you don't have a horse in the race.
Last week, the Earth stood still and stopped spinning with the release of... I was going to wait for this video to be finished before showing anything or talking about it, but I just can't wait any longer. I'm scratching at my neck about this. The cup runneth over on giggles. I keep laughing to myself about it, so I just want to show you it, at least a little bit from it. A few days ago, my friends and I thought it would be a banger idea to go to a comedy club and perform a stand-up routine, a nice tight 5. Last week, the Earth stood still and stopped spinning with the release of probably the worst movie this year we'll see, Borderlands. God rest the wallet of anyone who wasted money on that pile of absolute garbage. This week, the world was blessed with an actual great film, Alien Romulus. I like the Alien franchise. I haven't really liked a lot of what's been coming from this property, both in games and movies. The last Alien game I remember really liking was Alien Isolation. And the last movie I really remember liking, whoo-wee! That's, we're going back a couple decades. But I always have such a fondness for this property. Even though I keep getting fed shit, I can't even be mad at the chef. I'll briefly defend my position on that before glazing Alien Romulus, because I think the film is excellent. But Prometheus I've always been somewhat lukewarm on. There's things I like about it. I love the whole engineer idea. However, I just think overall the movie has so much silliness to it that it kind of ruins some really great concepts. Like the iconic scene with Meredith running in a straight line away from the spaceship that's tumbling at her like a tire. All she had to do was run left or right. It's rolling at her like a tire. It's not like a fucking tornado that's unpredictable. You know, it's not like a football running back who's all of a sudden going to make like a sharp cut to a side. All she had to do was run left or right, and she would have survived. Yet somehow this highly intelligent scientist decides to just run straight and then gets flattened by it. Even when it comes to crocodiles, they tell you to run in like a zigzag away from it. It was so stupid. I guess she thought it was like a heat-seeking missile coming at her or something. And there's other things, obviously, I could point to, but I'm not going to. I don't want to spend too much time on this topic. But Alien Covenant, I thought was just atrocious. I was very generous on the moist meter, which I regret. I should have been more harsh, because I didn't like it at the time, and I certainly don't like it now. I still remember thinking how dumb it was how these scientists arrive at this new planet, and the first thing they do is basically just strip down to their birthday suit. They come out there like they're spring breaking. Throughout the movie, they just make the dumbest decisions ever. You completely forget they're supposed to be smart people. Because it's like me on that planet. Like, oh, you're telling me I can breathe here? Oh, I'll just take it all in then with no suit. Like, not even thinking about, like, other possible problems with, like, pathogens or something. And they... again, I don't want to spend too much time on it. But there was a lot of things in Alien Covenant I thought were just terrible. There was a few things I liked about it. I still think David is a really cool character. But man, it's just fully unrealized potential with what could have been offered there. Anyway, though, let's talk about Alien Romulus now. Because this film, I think, is fantastic. And it's such a breath of fresh air in this franchise. You're going to hear everybody say this, I imagine, but it's super true. This film really does take the series back to its roots. And multiple times while watching this movie, I was like, shit. That feels like what I experienced in Alien Isolation. And I looked it up. Apparently, the director loved Alien Isolation, and it was like a big inspiration for this movie. And that's amazing. Like, you can actually feel it. It's so good. So they actually make the xenomorph scary again. Who would have guessed that that would be a successful formula? So it takes a less is more approach with this movie, where it's not just shoving xenomorphs in your face every possible opportunity. Towards the end of the movie, I don't want to get into spoilers. They show you a lot more towards the end of the movie. I'll say that much. But for most of it, the main things you're seeing are face huggers. Like, that is the main problem that this small crew is dealing with. So the story is this small crew looking to get off this planet, find a potential out with this derelict ship that's above their planet. And when they arrive, things get hairy. It goes tits up quickly. Blood and gore all over the place, as you would expect. And it's quite